You know what? Despite my best efforts, I know deep down in my heart, I am not naturally a clean, organized person. In fact, I just happen to thrive and live in chaos if I didn't do anything about it. And so today, I wanted to share with you guys 9 of my tidy home hacks as a person who is naturally messy. So, unbelievably messy. So let's get started with today's video. First things first, every single item in your home needs to have a designated place or a home. It is the worst feeling to bring something new into your home and then just leave it on a counter, random surface somewhere because it doesn't have a proper place. For the most part, everything in our house needs to have a home, whether that be our keys, be spare laundry detergent, whether it be random cleaning things, all of your clothes, so on and so forth. Anything that you can possibly think of should have a designated home, even if that's mail that's temporarily in your house. For example, we have a little dish in our entryway. That way we can just throw the mail that we're not going to get to reading that day in the dish, not have to worry about it, and come back to it at the end of the week and just deal with it all at once. So with that being said, things like that save you time because you don't have to spend hours, and I mean hours, running around your home looking for the item that you probably left where it makes absolutely zero sense, because I know for a fact I do that at least once a week when something does not have a proper place. Moving into number 2, we have putting things away immediately. This is really true for things in the kitchen and or any kind of cleaning products. I found that if I'm oftentimes going into the kitchen to grab a pair of scissors from our knife block, I will just grab it, use it for whatever I need it for, and then oftentimes throw it back on the counter when I could save myself the effort of looking for them by just sticking them back where they go. And 2, it looks visually so much nicer to have a clean, proper, tidy home. And with that, also a minimal home, because the less things that are out, the less chaotic it feels and the more calm you feel deep down and just in your home as a whole. It feels more welcoming, I should say. So moving into number 3, we have clean as you cook. Kind of pairs well with number 2, and that's putting things away as you go and or immediately. And so by cleaning as you cook, such as cleaning any pots and pans that you're no longer going to be using, you save yourself the dreaded cleanup time after you just sat down with your spouse or your family to a nice, enjoyable meal. Let's be honest, after any meal, I certainly do not want to go back into the kitchen to clean up the disaster that I would have made. Especially if you are anything like me, and it's even on a weeknight, you love to make intricate, elaborate meals just because. And when you do that, guess what that means? Dishes. Lots of dishes. So save yourself the hassle and just the mental trouble and despair of having to clean dishes, and clean as you go. It also includes putting away your spices when you're done with them. I know that we need to work on our spice organization, but regardless, if you put the spice back after you're done using it, it's one less thing that's cluttering up your countertop. Moving on in to number 4, we have home and kitchen closed down at the end of every night. So I think Milena Ciciotti initially mentioned closing down your kitchen each and every night, and I thought that was a very novel idea at the time, but I wanted to take that a step further. So we have blankets and pillows that we obviously keep on our couch pretty much all the time, both for protective and decorative uses. Our dogs are so prone to just knocking them off the couch, pulling blankets and throwing them all over the floor. And so to make my life a little bit better and more peaceful morning when you wake up, I love to put all the pillows and blankets back in their proper places, and to have cleaned up all of the kitchen and essentially most of our first floor of our home. That way when you come down in the morning, you come down to a very peaceful, organized, clean kitchen with nothing that is waiting for you to do. Because truly there is nothing worse than waking up and immediately seeing something that you have to deal with. I know that is something that I absolutely dread with my entire heart. Moving right along into number 5. This is one that I've developed recently, and it has saved me so much hassle, I think, and that is just spot cleaning as you go. More specifically, this often entails any spills that you see or just things on the floor, dog dust bunnies, and or just dust in general. There's nothing worse than just walking by a dark surface and seeing that there's a layer of dust, especially if you have any new construction homes or in a construction area. You cannot get this dust off your house to save your life, but you can keep a better control of it by dusting any surface that you see as dusty as you walk by. So I keep one of our little blue microfiber cloths either in our kitchen or a bathroom downstairs, and then also in the bathrooms upstairs. That way there is easy access just to go grab it and then wipe down any surface that I see as I see the issue. That way it doesn't build up, and two, I don't have to see it day in, day out, or even multiple times a day and get easily frustrated by the fact I could have just cleaned it and moved on with it when I keep prolonging the cleaning task. Let me know if any of you guys are like that too, especially back in college. I was probably the worst at putting off mundane cleaning tasks. Dusting is the thing that I hate the most. So anytime I walk past, if I have the time, albeit, anytime I walk past like a set of blinds or a surface and I can see that it's dusty, I just take the time to quickly wipe it down. That way you can move on about your life. Truly, this next point is so incredibly simple, but makes a world of difference. And that is simply to make your bed each and every morning. And simply this one task, which takes less than 5 minutes at the most, brings me so much happiness and peace of mind, knowing that when I get home from a long day of work and eventually get to crawl my way into bed at night, I get to get into a freshly made bed. And for any other fellow dog owners out there, I have 2 golden retrievers and a cat. I know when that bed's made, there is no way those dogs were romping around and causing a ruckus and getting dog hair or cat hair everywhere into my bed. If my bed is made, I cannot say the same if I just leave the covers strewn all about the room, because half the time when I get into bed, I will find dog hair immediately. So I save myself the heartache of wanting to fluff out my sheets and wash my sheets every single night. Simply making my bed brings me so much happiness and peace of mind. And 2, I think everyone knows that making your bed is one of the best ways to start your day, because it's an easy task to just check off and feel good about yourself, and it just takes a few minutes. Number 7, this is also a life changer in my personal opinion, and that is to have either a designated cleaning day or designated cleaning task each day. There have been several points in my life when there is no way that even on a weekend, I would have had the time to set aside enough time to properly clean my house. Quite frankly, I'm still mostly in that season of life. However, recently my Wednesdays have become my work from home days and my days to do a lovely deep clean without anyone else home except for me and the animals. And so by setting aside a Wednesday, I find it to be a nice, relaxing day to simply spot clean everywhere in my house and or to do the deep cleans I don't have time for otherwise. So things like mopping your floor when you know that no one else is home aside from you and your pets. You can sequester the pets upstairs away from whatever carpet you're cleaning, carpet or hardwood floors, whatever it is that you're having to clean or mop that day, and you don't have to worry about anyone stepping on it and ruining your clean floors. Things like that bring so much peace of mind, knowing that even if I'm having a very busy week, I have a designated time or spots within my week to make sure my home stays in a nice homeostasis of being clean. Number 8 also entails more routines, and that is simply to have a decluttering routine. So usually for each of the seasons, I will have a certain area of the home that I'm trying to declutter. Oftentimes, spring usually includes any of my spring, summer wardrobe, all the spring dresses, things like that. I love to go through, see the things that no longer fit me, things that are in disrepair, anything that I can just simply get rid of and donate to make my life simpler. I love to do that in the springtime. Whereas in the fall, I often find myself cleaning out lots of our kitchen and our spices and old kitchen gadgets that I simply just don't have a use for anymore, because oftentimes I find myself getting into a lot of the cozy baking and very, very extensive recipes in the fall and winter season when the days are shorter and you just can't do as many things outside. So just having a designated time to declutter, whether that be your clothing or areas of your home, or simply just decluttering your mail, will simplify your home by not having to constantly feel like you're getting rid of things or having to get rid of things, because there's just piles and buildup of things that you need to get rid of everywhere. And speaking of donations, we are rolling on right into number 9, and that is simply to have a spot for your donations. This is something that my mom instilled in me from a very young age, and for that I am so grateful. Nowadays, I have 2 spots for any of our donations. I have one on the first floor in our entryway closet, and then upstairs in our laundry room. I put any of the clothes that no longer fit, have shrunken in the wash, whatever it may be, anything that we are simply just ready to donate and to part with and to not have to manage anymore. We have a designated spot where we can just put it in there, and then once it's filled up, I'll take it on over to Goodwill or any of the local donation places around us. And that way you don't have to make multiple trips. You just make one trip, maybe a month, every couple months. And it's also out of your way. There's nothing worse than keeping something in your closet or in your home that you're constantly having to finagle yourself around, and or you constantly pull out, evaluate if you even like said item, if it even fits you, when you can just get it out of the way and have a spot for it to go in the meantime. But I hope any of these tips were helpful for you. I know that they have drastically changed my life. I am by far a neat freak. There is no way I'm anywhere close to a neat freak. I recognize that, but by having things and processes in place to prevent myself from getting out of hand, it's allowed my home to stay in a constant, or at least semi-constant state of being ready for spontaneous guests, or just to be welcoming, quite frankly. I truly love having a clean and tidy home because it feels comforting, it feels peaceful, and I don't have to stress if someone does in fact want to stop by without any notice. So, I hope these resonate with you, and I hope they can change your life as well. If you have any cleaning tips or anything that you would love to share, please comment them down below. Truly, I would love to hear it. And if you've made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing this video. It would mean the world. But if not, I'll see you in a video here soon, and have a happy and wholesome day. Bye guys.